Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. Dramatised for radio by Jonathan Holloway.
Now here's a comforting thought. The hands of all our 4,000 electric clocks in the Bloomsbury Central Hatchery's 4,000 rooms are showing exactly 27 minutes past 2.
You are listening to the voice of the director of the London hatcheries as he addresses laboratory operatives in training. My name is Helmholtz Watson, and I am speaking to you from the year 2116. You are all dead. Western civilization has won wars that left it morally bankrupt. Children are no longer born, they are grown in glass vessels, their development interrupted so they'll fit into a ruthless caste system. Sex is everywhere, is for recreation, not procreation, and sits alongside obstacle golf as one of the essentials of a contented, emotionally retarded existence. Women are judged by their beauty and pneumatic performance in bed, their faces covered in orange colourant and eyebrows painted on. Fate continues throwing up those of us whose unfinished minds put us at odds with society. My friend Bernard Marx discovered that the director of the London Human Hatcheries, who you just heard, tried to murder his lover and her illegal unborn child in New Mexico 20 years ago. Bernard has brought mother and grown-up son back to London. The boy, John, is now a noble, upright, clear-eyed savage. Bernard plans to use John as a weapon against the director, and so prevent himself from being banished for his unconventional thinking.
Efficiency. That is what provides the great certainty which guides our lives and makes us happy. We are, above all things, efficient in this hive of industry filled with the buzz of work. Everyone is busy, everything is in ordered motion. Under the microscopes, their long tails furiously lashing, spermatozoa are burrowing headfirst into eggs. Fertilized eggs are expanding, dividing, budding and breaking into whole populations of identical human beings. From the social predestination room, the escalators rumble down into our basement where the eggs stew in blood surrogate and hormones. The clocks are right, everyone has a place, and everyone stays at their allotted station in life.
Good morning, Director.
Good morning, Mr. Marx.
Good morning, everyone. You sent a message for me to meet you here, Director.
I understand you returned from your holiday in New Mexico last night.
Yes. Is this convenient? I see you're teaching.
Oh, not only convenient, Mr. Marx. Essential, I would have said. Ladies and gentlemen, and those of you working at the benches, would you mind paying attention for a moment? I'm afraid I have a painful duty to perform. This man who stands before you, this Alpha Plus named Bernard Marx, this colleague of yours, now an ex-colleague, has grossly betrayed the trust invested in him. His heretical views on sport and Soma, the scandalous unorthodoxy of his near-monogamous sex life, these and other transgressions have proved him to be an enemy of order, stability, and, I'm afraid I have to say, civilization itself. I have determined to transfer you, Mr. Marx, to the most isolated hatchery we manage in Iceland. Now, before you clear your locker, can you think of any reason why I shouldn't do this?
Yes, I can.
Oh, then please share it with us.
Certainly. But it's outside in the passage. One moment. Come in. Don't worry, everything's fine. Can you come? There he is, Linda. Do you recognize him?
Well, I know you, Thomas. I would have recognized you among 1,000 people. But perhaps you've forgotten who I am. Don't you remember, Thomas? You're Linda. Won't you take me in your arms, Thomas?
What's the meaning of this? Why have you brought this fat monster here? Is she sick? What are you trying to do, Mr. Marx?
Won't you say hello? Be kind. Hold me.
Get off!
But I'm Linda. I'm Linda. You made me have a baby.
Get away from me! I've never seen you with you.
Wasn't my fault, Thomas. I always did my drill, didn't I? Didn't I? Didn't I, you scum? I don't know how you managed to get me pregnant, but you did.
Stand back.
It has been awful. But our son has been a great comfort to me all the same. John!
You are my father. My father.
I don't know what you're playing at, Mr. Marks. I have no idea who these people are. This is not my son. I do not have a son. This is some plot you've cooked up to save your skin. Isn't it, Mr. Marks?
Bernard's plan worked perfectly. He had humiliated the director of the London hatcheries and saved his own bacon in the process. But this wasn't the only opportunity Bernard spotted. John the Savage was a ticket to a new future for the diminutive Bernard. He could become the young man's keeper, agent, manager, having already used the scandal of Linda's pregnancy and attempted murder to make contact with Mustafa Mond, the resident world controller of Western Europe. He now had the ear of the most powerful man in England. What couldn't he achieve if he set his mind to it? But Linda was a complication. Taken out of the dry New Mexican climate, she quickly deteriorated.
We're giving her Soma instead of mescal. She's taking as much as 20 grams a day.
What's going to happen to her, Dr. Shaw?
Well, that dosage will finish her off in a month or two. One day the respiratory centre will be paralysed. No more breathing. Finished. And a good thing too. If we could rejuvenate her, it would be different, but she's too far gone.
But, Doctor, why are you giving her Soma if it's shortening her life?
She has no serious occupation, Mr. Marks. No contribution to make. So, which is better? Keeping her sober and miserable, or giving her a few weeks of dreamscape holiday?
It's not right.
Well, first of all, it's not for you to say. Unless you have a degree in clinical medicine secreted about your person. Do you? I thought not. Linda is a scientific resource. She's a specimen we must study. We don't get her kind anymore. It's true, we can't rejuvenate her. But I, for one, am very glad to have this opportunity to see an example of senility in a human being. Thank you so much for calling me in. Now, please, leave her to us, Mr. Marks.
Bernard's companion, Lenina Crown, was still reeling from her trip to New Mexico and its vision of a different society that prized fidelity and in which babies were born from their mother's wombs. She was confused. Her particular intelligence soaked up new possibilities while it went to war with her conditioning.
Bernard says I can meet your savage next Wednesday. I assume that's okay.
Why wouldn't it be? Can you pass me that serum?
Well, you've been a bit touchy. If I weren't your friend, I'd say possessive.
Why would I be possessive about John?
I'd have sex with Bernard in order to fix up the meeting with the savage.
Well, I'm glad, Fanny. Maybe now you'll admit you were wrong about Bernard.
I suppose so. Once he actually had me, I realised he's all right. He's quite a go-getter, isn't he?
Well, he didn't used to be. In fact, that's why I liked him. But everybody wants to meet him now. Bernard's got invitations from the Director of Predestination, 3 Assistant Fertiliser Generals, professors at the College of Emotional Engineering, the Dean of Westminster Community Choir, and the list goes on and on.
But what exactly does he do?
Bernard?
John the Savage.
Well, he doesn't have sex with people for a start.
What? Why on earth not?
Perhaps that's why everyone is so drawn to him. He just won't do it, refuses, saving himself or something.
I mean, what does he do at these sessions, performances?
John gives a sort of improvised lecture. He reads poetry, recites Shakespeare, spouts some unintelligible philosophy about abstinence and monks who once lived in caves. I mean, none of it adds up, but the audience like it. At one moment, they're won over by his innocence, and the next, they're laughing at his crudity.
Lenina, you like him, don't you?
John?
Of course, John.
I'd rather say I'm intrigued by him. Those blue eyes.
Well, what about them?
Well, it's as if they see a different world to us. Does that make sense?
Not at all. But then you seem to make sense less and less. But I'm getting used to it.
So, this is very curious, I think you'll agree. Bernard, my renegade partner in crime, was changing, or being changed, because for the first time in his life he felt in control of something. It was going to his head. On the other hand, Lenina Crown, former pneumatic queen of the prone position, was beginning to metamorphose. But into what?
You know, you don't need my permission to go with Bernard. Everyone owns everyone else.
Well, I just thought, you know, some of his unorthodox ways might have rubbed off.
Bernard has become something of a catch, and I admit I liked him very much for a while. But he looks fake alongside John. Anyway, Bernard doesn't seem that interested in me anymore.
London is certainly taking notice of him. Bernard had 6 different girls last week, and there were at least another dozen practically banging the door down.
Yeah, I don't really think I want to know about all that. Thank you.
I believe you envy me, don't you, Helmholtz?
That's rather sad for you, actually.
Why?
Well, you don't seem to need a proper job anymore.
That's not something to be sad about.
You're rid of the director of the London hatcheries.
Phew, eh?
Success has gone to your head.
That's unkind.
Well, look what's happened to you, Bernard. The system is sucking you in. You like having all the girls you want, and you're not watching your back anymore, which is a mistake.
What?
Fundamentally, John the Savage stands for everything society hates, but everyone is fascinated by his novelty. He's sexy, but won't have sex. But what's certain is one day, quite suddenly, that's all going to change. The world order requires John's novelty should wear off, and when that happens, you'll be left up the veritable creek without a paddle.
Why shouldn't I just enjoy it?
Well, I suppose, if I'm truthful, I just feel deeply sorry at the way you're suddenly reconciled with a world which up until now you found revolting.
Wrong again. I'm no friend of the world order.
But there's a different tone in your voice.
What?
You aren't blustering as much. You don't seem threatened. You've become part of the system. Your wisdom makes for poignant but unthreatening broadcasting. Your newly acquired privilege guts you of authenticity.
You're being cruel.
Your status flows from John the Savage. When his novelty wears off, you'll be left exposed. He'll be cast out, and the same will happen to you.
Look up, John.
What is it?
Don't you think that's impressive? It's a captive weather balloon hanging there like a pearl in the sky.
You sound proud.
Well, why shouldn't I be?
It's nothing to do with you. You don't own it. You didn't make it. You didn't decide it was needed. I agree, it's a good thing. But why would you take credit for it being there?
I'm not taking credit for it.
Just now you were all puffed up.
Against my instincts, I sometimes feel, well, yes, proud is the right word. Proud of what human beings can achieve.
An Indian wise woman told me about something she read as a child. The writer's name was Emerson. He spoke of people bound together by a shared human soul, the Oversoul.
There's one thing in our godforsaken world I agree with, and it's the abolition of superstition.
You've just said it.
Said what?
God-forsaken. Yes, it might look that way. But God's own Son died on the cross to save us from our sins. God has not forsaken us. And perhaps it's time for another sacrifice to save mankind.
I believe in what I can see and touch.
Just now you were proud of the human race.
Don't worry, it didn't last long. I'm over it now.
You felt in communion with your fellow creatures. What is it?
That's the Bombay Green Rocket. It flies at 1,250 kilometers an hour. What do you think of that?
What should I think of it?
I don't know. I suppose you should be impressed.
You see? You can't help yourself, can you?
Compared to Mustafa Mond's status, power, and aura of danger, Bernard Marx is an ant. Why did Mond answer the telephone to Bernard when he called from New Mexico with news of the director of Hatchery's crime? Mond must have spotted something he'd want to keep close, to hold tight. And he maintained regular contact with Bernard through these weeks and months.
You see, sir, the Savage shows surprisingly little astonishment at, or awe of, civilized inventions. This is partly due, no doubt, to the fact he has heard them talked about disparagingly by the woman Linda, his mother.
I wish you hadn't felt you needed to use that word.
He remains steadfastly concerned with something he calls the human soul, which he persists in regarding as an entity independent of the physical environment.
I always assumed ferals would be frightening. I had not anticipated your John would be a confused idiot.
I don't think he's an idiot. He says he finds the infantile civilized world unsatisfying. He believes we have diminished the qualities that make us human.
I'm not sure I understand you.
I was trying to point out...
You seem to be under the misapprehension we are engaged in some sort of debate, you and I.
What? I thought...
That we agree, all subjects, including the hard-won happiness of the civilized peoples of the earth, the close order organization of humanity by intelligence, talent, and usefulness, the abandonment of emotion as a factor in relationships, that all these achievements are somehow open to scrutiny?
I am very sorry if I've caused offence.
Not at all, Mr. Marx. You're not important enough to cause offence. There is no offence here. There is only what will prevail and what won't. Have I made myself plain?
Yes, sir.
You are my spy, Mr. Marx. My creature. I expect you to continue reporting every day.
Welcome to the factory, Mr. Savage.
That's not my name.
I'm sorry? Not Mr. John Savage, then?
It is a name others have applied without asking my opinion. Please, simply call me John.
Each process in the factory is carried out as far as possible by a single group of what we call twins. We use the word not because they come in pairs, but to represent their identical genetic makeup. The official title is a Bokanovsky group, named after the scientific pioneer who invented the process of their fertilization. You will see 83 black Bokanovskys with broad, short skulls, practically noseless. Then deltas taking care of cold pressing. 56 spindle chuckers working on machines manipulated by 57 aquiline-featured, ginger-haired gammas. In the assembling rooms, the dynamos are being put together by 2 sets of gamma-plus dwarfs.
Oh, brave new world.
Pardon, Mr.
Brave
Savage?
new world that has such people in
John,
it.
I assure you, Mr. Savage, we hardly have any trouble with our workers. We tend to
I've heard enough.
Where are you going? I have the courtesy tour all set up and the refreshments. With
Please,
senior management.
where's the nearest restroom? I'm going to be sick.
Voice message to Mustafa Mond, personal voice account, security level 2, daily report. The Savage refuses to take Soma himself and seems much distressed because the woman Linda, his M, remains permanently on a Soma holiday. It's interesting that in spite of his M's senility and the extreme repulsiveness of her appearance, the Savage frequently goes to see her and appears to be much attached to her. This is an interesting example of the way early conditioning can be made to modify and even run counter to natural impulses. In this case, the impulse to recoil from an unpleasant object.
Our society shares something very profound with those that have gone before. It is always necessary to educate a small slice of society to a much higher level than the rest. We need logical, trained, but creative minds at the helm. This carries a risk. I, and to a degree Bernard as well, we're examples of what can go wrong. Train a mind to be inventive in a crisis, and you risk that a minority will go rogue. That minority will be solitary, weep for the human condition, and travel in a mist of melancholia.
Good afternoon, Mr. Savage, Mr. Marx.
Good afternoon, Miss Keats.
Please, my name is not John Savage. It is simply John.
I see.
Please don't take offence, Miss Keats. Thank you for welcoming us to Eton Upper School.
Mr. Marx, it is only correct this school of schools should celebrate the arrival of such a distinguished stranger in our midst for the purposes of learning about ourselves. It is easy to forget how modern society overcame the past, and if we are to relish the present, we must see the past for what it was. And here is the blue-eyed, living and breathing past.
Do you have many what you call twins here?
Oh, no. Eton Upper School is reserved exclusively for the decision-makers of the future. Upper caste boys and girls. One unique egg, one unique adult. It makes educating them much more difficult, of course, but as they'll be called upon to take huge responsibilities and deal with unexpected emergencies, it cannot be helped.
Miss Keats, if you're free any Monday, Wednesday or Friday evening, I would love the opportunity to talk to you about how I discovered John.
Thank you. I would like that. You have an impish intellectual quality about you which I find very attractive, Mr. Marx. Will Mr. Savage be available too?
That's unlikely, Miss Keats.
Really? You'll have to explain that to me later, Mr. Marx. Now, I'm going to take you straight to an Alpha Plus classroom and show you a class in Malthusian drill firsthand. After that, we'll go to a geography lesson about beta-minus reservations, such as the one you're familiar with, Mr. Savage.
John, not Savage. And how do you choose where to put a reservation?
Well, I don't choose. I don't have anything to do with reservations.
Well, how do they choose? The other people?
Reservations are in locations characterized by unfavorable climatic or geological conditions, or poverty of natural resources. Places just not worth civilizing.
Where the conditions are cruel. Do your students read Shakespeare?
Certainly not.
Ah, they're coming back from a trip. Where have these pupils been, Miss Keith?
Slough Crematorium.
Ah.
Every pupil here spends 2 mornings a week in a hospital for the dying. They get chocolate ice cream if they see a death. They learn it's good that old people die to make way for the young.
When do you start them on Soma?
It's one of those insoluble conundrums. Most youngsters are taking small doses of Soma in the afternoons at nursery. But we all know Soma has a negative effect on brain development. Of course, that doesn't matter as a general rule, but our boys and girls are special. We hold off on Soma until physical development has done most of the work by itself, around the age of 14 years. Now, if you'll follow me, please.
I've left my hairspray in the apartment. Can I borrow yours?
I've stopped using the stuff.
I'll have to borrow Cindy's. I'm sure she won't mind. Lenina, you're looking very pleased with yourself.
That's because I am. Bernard has a meeting tonight, and he's asked me to take John to the immersive cinema. I'll have to hurry if I'm going to be on time.
What's he like?
In truth, far too thoughtful. It's quite disconcerting.
No, what's he like in bed?
I wouldn't know, Fanny.
You're joking. Surely you don't mean
Look,
that you...
It's wonderful soaking up the attention that comes from being with Bernard and John Savage, but there hasn't been anything physical between John and I. The first thing everyone wants to know is what's it like to make love to a savage. And I have to say, I don't know.
Frankly, that's a bit of a shock.
Fanny, he's terribly good looking and everything, but... Well,
Say it.
I'm going to take a risk and confide in you.
Go ahead.
I listened to Bernard. A lot of the things he said early on about wanting to have a relationship with just one person and explore that, well, that's got inside my head. I wanted to be with Bernard, but he's changed since John turned up. He doesn't seem quite as different, quite as endearing as he did. Not quite as brave, sort of thing. And
you're not making sense.
I mean, I don't simply want to jump on top of John Savage. I would like to do it with John now, yes, but properly, as part of a relationship.
So, doesn't he like you?
Well, sometimes I think he does, and sometimes I think he doesn't. Sometimes he seems to do his best to avoid me. Goes out of the room when I come in, won't touch me, won't even look at me. But sometimes, if I turn around suddenly, I catch him staring, and I can see he definitely does like me.
Oh, I'd be confused too.
Oh, don't tell anyone.
Of course not. I don't pretend to be able to keep up with the twists and turns of your alternative lifestyle.
Fanny, the truth is, I like John. Quite a lot. More than I think is normal. I don't want you at home tonight.
No problem. I'll pick someone else up, no doubt.
Later that same night, ... The technical term for which is an ellipsis.
Is there something wrong? Didn't you enjoy the film?
No, I didn't.
Well, I thought it might get you in the mood. Was it because of the people staring at you?
No, I'm used to that now.
Well, what then? What have I done wrong?
I don't think you should watch things like that.
Things like what, John?
Well, that woman, she was trying to get away from all those bad men. Then they caught her and they all ravished her.
Yes, but she enjoyed it.
Not to begin with.
But she realised how good it is that all those men wanted her.
But the girl acting...
Most people would say she's lucky.
Is that what you really think?
I don't understand.
I was watching her face. She was pretending to like it. Pretending that each man made her more and more happy. She gasped and whimpered and trashed around as if they were driving her into a frenzy. But that wasn't what I saw in her eyes.
What did you see, John?
Loneliness. Fear. Indeed, sadness deep down in the pools of her watery eyes. What they did to her was horrible. Can you really not see that?
John, it was lovely.
No, it was base and ignoble. And it makes me feel dirty because I watched it.
I don't know what you mean. Why do you go out of your way to spoil things?
No, I don't. It's just that everything is around the wrong way. The world has turned backwards on itself. There's no substance to anything. Everything is made to wither the instant someone buys it. And so you have to buy more of whatever it is. And permanence, ideas, they've become dirty words when they should be virtues.
Look, John, you're terribly good looking. Do you want to take my clothes off, or shall I do it for you? You'd rather I do it myself, would you? Do please say something.
Please, don't take your clothes off, Lenina.
But John...
I have an important speaking engagement tomorrow. At least Bernard says it's important. I'm exhausted. I have to get some sleep. Take a couple of grams of Soma and we'll just go to bed. I'll lie next to you with a sheet between us. That's all I want.
I always thought it would be the likes of Mustafa Mond who'd end John's celebrity, and Bernard's by default. I never thought John would reach breaking point first, that it would be his idealism, if you can call it that, his sense of right and wrong, what matters and what doesn't, that would kill the golden goose.
You can't do this, John. There's a huge crowd waiting for you.
They're wasting their time.
Listen. All these people have been invited for the specific purpose of meeting you. They want to hear you speak.
From now on, you must ask me first before you make arrangements like this.
I'm managing you. I find the opportunities and set them up, and you turn up and do your act.
Act! You've hit the nail on the head. That's precisely why I don't want to do it. I went through all this yesterday evening. I think maybe I shan't do my act ever again.
Do you really mean that?
Yes!
Then what am I supposed to do?
What do you mean?
Everything you've got now, all the fame, the adulation, the money, I did that all for you. We're a team, and now I'm reliant on us staying that way. My entire quality of life depends on it.
Listen to yourself! You are disgusting.
Thank you all very much for coming along tonight. John is very honoured by this turnout of London's most important and dynamic minds. I am sorry to tell you that John is rather overcome. It is only 1 month since his arrival in civilization. It has been a shock to his mind and physiology. We need all to understand he is a human being, albeit a primitive one. His senses are overwhelmed, and we think it best if tonight's reception is postponed. I thank you all for your kindness and look forward to receiving your responses to reissued invitations.
Mr. Marks!
Yes, Miss Keats?
I look around me and I see a gathering of the most influential non-twin high alphas in London. I assume you have made the nature of his audience plain to Mr. Savage.
Yes, indeed I have, Miss Keats.
You and I have a physical understanding. Half the people here attended my school, and everyone here deserves respect. And if I may say so, Mr. Marks, to be feared.
As I said, Miss Keats, Mr. Savage and I are very well aware of the status of this evening's guests. I'm afraid I have to wrap things up now. Good night. Sorry.
Bernard, what's happened?
Oh, Lenina.
Where's John?
John locked himself in a cloakroom. I expect he's scarpered by now.
Oh, where to?
Who knows? Who knows what goes through that savage mind, if anything.
Oh, he knew I'd be here. Perhaps it's because he doesn't like me.
Don't be sad, Lenina.
Fanny, where did you come from?
I came home early this morning, long before I had to leave for work, hoping I'd catch a look at John Savage, Starkers. But he'd already gone, hadn't he? And you wouldn't say what happened last night. When you left today, you had a strange air about you. I was concerned. Are you a charlatan, Mr. Marks?
Pardon?
This whole John Savage fable has been very good for you, hasn't it? Well, lots of women have gone with you who wouldn't otherwise have done. John Savage is your own personal performing animal. Roll up, watch the savage dance.
What?
I know someone who was working in the embryo store at the time you were grown. She said it's absolutely true about alcohol getting into your renal feed by mistake. You're not even a real alpha, are you?
So, John, you found your way back. I can smell it.
What can you smell?
Lenina's perfume. So you've been with her?
And where have you been?
Hiding. It's over for me. I've fallen off my pedestal.
It was never very secure. I mean, it was not a wise cause for you to take up.
So you made love. How was it?
We didn't do what you mean. We're just together, that's all.
If you're waiting for her to fall in love with you, don't. No one does that anymore. It's not on the approved list of emotions.
There's a message on your machine. Your friend Helmholtz.
I wanted to talk to you because I am so very excited. You're Mr. Savage, who isn't a savage at all. I saw a video feed of him at some event you took him to. He was reading poetry. He gave a celebration of passion, solitude, loyalty, indeed love even. He's very inspiring. I feel as though I'm beginning to have something to write about. I want to meet your savage. I like that word, by the way. We use it to deny people's validity. I think we should reacquire it, celebrate it, be savage. Although I don't know for the life of me what form that would take. Anyway, please, let me meet him. Any time will suit. I'll make myself available. Bye.
Would you meet him?
Why not?
You wouldn't run away and hide like you did today?
Well, it depends what he's like. I mean, I'm not your pet, and I have stopped acting like one.
Lenina, please wait.
Henry, long time no see. Hello. How have you been?
Not bad. Would you like to come to a film tonight?
No, thank you.
So, are you going out with Harry Benito then?
No.
Is there something wrong? You're not ill, are you? Not brooding?
Oh, shut up, you stupid man.
Hello, you two. Making plans for tonight?
Apparently not.
Go away, Henry.
Certainly. I'm off. Bye, Fanny. Everyone belongs to everyone else. And don't you forget it.
What happened?
I just couldn't be bothered with him.
I could smell a man. A rather unwashed man when I got back this morning. Was it Mr. Savage?
Yes.
And how was he?
We slept with a sheet between us. It was very chaste. He's the one I want.
There are millions of other men in the world.
But I don't want them.
How do you know until you've tried?
I have tried.
But how many?
Dozens.
Well, you need to persevere.
While I'm thinking about him.
But just don't.
I can't help it.
Well, take as much Soma as you need to forget.
But every time I surface from it, I shall like him all over again.
I'm disgusted with myself for saying it, and please don't repeat it to anyone else, but I think perhaps you have to take him and make him yours, just yours. Find out what that's actually like.
Are you all right?
No, not at all. I think what you're doing is stupid, but I understand it. I shouldn't, but I do. I feel... I used to be contented. Oh, I'm going home now to soak in a bath with 100 milligrams of Soma and try to forget we've had this conversation.
You don't seem very pleased to see me, John.
Don't I? Actually, I'm delighted. I'm sorry if I don't look it. I'm falling in love with you, but it isn't working like it should. It's making me a bit sad. I don't know why. It's mad, but I'm frightened of having you, because that means sooner or later I'll lose you.
I don't understand it either. If any other man had refused to do it with me, I'd have been insulted.
You remember that in New Mexico, people still get married? I'd like us to be bound together like that, too.
Do you mean it, John?
They make a promise to live together forever.
I don't know if I could. I'm afraid the idea still makes me queasy.
Don't do that.
Do what?
Resist.
I can have an opinion, can't I?
When you say opinion, you mean being difficult and spiky. We should be together, like in Shakespeare. Outliving beauty's outward with a mind that doth renew swifter than blood decays.
I don't understand that.
I love you more than anything else in the world.
So, this is finally happening, is it? Help me with my zip.
But, Lenina...
Don't worry, I'll do it myself. Look, John. Look at my body. I'm generally considered not bad. What's the matter, John?
I can't do this.
Why on earth not? What's the matter with me?
I can't have you in the knowledge I'm just going to lose you again in a few days, months.
Stop going on about the end of our relationship when it hasn't even started.
So suddenly, all those other men don't count.
What? Yes, that's right, they don't.
All that shallow lust. Exchanging liquid as if it doesn't mean anything. How many men have you had? No, don't tell me. I don't want to know. I do, but I don't.
Oh, please don't hurt me.
That's a stupid thing to say. Why would I hurt you? It's you who's hurting me.
I haven't done anything.
I'm Leah, you're Cordelia, the one he cares most about and whose actions cause him the greatest pain. The wren goes to it, and the small gilded fly does lecture in my sight. The soiled horse goes to it with a more riotous appetite. Down from the waist, there's centaurs, the women all above. There's hell, there's darkness, there's the sulphurous pit, burning, scalding, stench, consumption, fie, fie, fie!
John!
Oh, the weed who art so lovely fair and smells so sweet that the sense aches at thee.
I don't understand. Don't you dare hit me again!
You deserve it. Was this most goodly book made to write whore upon?
John, do you think I might have my clothes, please?
Here. Impudent strumpet. These aren't clothes. They are devices to take men to the precipice. Here.
You can't hit me. No one is allowed to hit me. What's the matter with you? If you don't want me, you could have just said so. You don't have to throw me about the place. Aren't you going to answer?
Hello. Yes, I am. Yes, Mr. Savage speaking. But is it serious? Is she really bad? Where has she been taken? I'll come at once. 3 Park Lane. I'm coming. Linda has had some kind of attack. Apparently she's unconscious. They've taken her to an address at 3 Park Lane?
That's the Park Lane Hospital for the dying.
Don't run! What's the matter with you? Why are you in such a hurry?
Is there any hope?
Who for?
My mother.
Now then, we won't put up with that sort of language in here, not at all. We create a thoroughly pleasant atmosphere here.
Linda, my mother. Is there any hope?
That filthy word again.
Answer me.
Do you mean hope of her not dying?
Yes!
Of course not, you fool. When someone is sent here, it's precisely because there is no hope, as you call it.
Take me to her.
If you must. Though why you'd want to, I have no idea. Yeah. Ugh. She's enormous, isn't she? And the stink. My nurses haven't been able to stomach washing her. How could someone let themselves go like that? Anyway, I haven't got time for this nonsense. I have a batch of Alpha Plus children coming in shortly to watch some dying. Your, Linda will die at any moment. They've been told they'll see her go.
Is that you? I know what you want.
Mother.
I know what you want, naughty man. Are you going to be kind and give me something in return? You give me mezcal, and I'll be kind to you.
Linda, it's me, John, your son.
My son? No. Everyone belongs to everyone else. Where's my lovely young Indian? Have you chased him away? Where's my mezcal?
What's wrong, Linda?
Sister! Quickly! Nurse! Quickly, I think I've killed her.
There are 30 children waiting to come in. They're looking forward to seeing her die. Now you've spoilt it. They need to watch and laugh and get used to it. How can you be so selfish?
How many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is. Oh, brave new world.
No! Back into the corridor! No one said come in. This is fun. And like all good fun, it needs to be properly organised. And Mr. Savage... Oh, yeah, I know who you are, and I'm not in the least little bit impressed, to tell you that for nothing. Will you please just get out, now?
You really have no idea where he's gone?
I know he was here with Lenina, but I don't know where either of them went. There's a towel with blood on it in the bathroom.
Well, we need to find him.
Hello? Speaking. Are you sure it's him?
What's going on?
And he did what? Please tell the police to be kind. He doesn't understand much. It's not aggression. Well, it is, sort of. Just keep him there for his own protection. I'm coming.
What's happened?
The fellow I know at the Park Lane Hospital.
Has something happened to John?
He's there. He watched his mother die and he seems to have gone mad. We have to get there as fast as possible. I created a monster, didn't I? Are you coming with me?
What's the matter with you all? Do you like being slaves? Do you like being babies? Told what to do?
John, he's gone off his head.
Good luck to him, I say.
Experiencing the great emotion.
John, excuse me. Please, move. John, come down.
You've been numbed into a flat world of middling sexual pleasure without the spite of desire and self-disgust. Wantonness and
Close to breaking point. They'll kill him. They'll just pull him down off that wall and stamp him to death.
Out of my way!
Your lives
Move!
be free!
Hello, John! I'm Helmholtz. I want to be free.
What?
Can you show me how?
Free! Good old Helmholtz!
I want to be a man. I want to know the extremes of emotion, of pain, regret, thwarted ambition, lost love. I want them all firsthand.
Hear what he just said? He wants to become a human being. Don't you lot want that as well?
All right, you two. You've had your fun. Well done. Everyone's got the message. Time to go. We need to get out of here.
This is an illegal gathering. You are hereby given notice your usual rights as citizens are suspended. Everyone is required to lie down to be handcuffed. Soma sting gas will be administered. Soma sting gas
Helmholtz.
will be administered.
John, you madman. We have to get away. Now!
You were told to stand still.
Run! Run!
There you!
I can't see! I can't see!
You were wrong.
You alphas, you don't get it, do you? See this? I'll stripe you across the face with it. If you move again, this here in my hand. This is the truth, and don't you forget it.
My friends, please calm down. Everyone has the right to an opinion. But remember, everyone also belongs to everyone else. You've had your chance at some free will, and time's up. You will all be transported to an emergency reconditioning centre and released when the doctors feel you're ready.
The police didn't do exactly what they said they would. The public were taken away for re-indoctrination. The three of us were transferred to an hotel where we were watched while we showered and dressed in clothes provided. Those dreadful rayon clothes with zippers that are so depressingly uniform. We were then transferred by luxury vehicle to the office of Mustafa Mond, 500 feet above the streets of Westminster.
So you don't much like civilization, Mr. Savage?
Savage is not my name.
Can we move beyond matters of administration?
It's not a matter of administration. It's a matter of my name.
John.
My name is who I am. And no, I don't much like your civilization, Mr. Mond.
That's very disappointing.
Surely there's something you like.
Well, there's a lot of music.
Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments will hum about my ears, and sometimes voices.
You've read it too? I thought nobody knew that book in England.
It's prohibited to all but the select few, the children you met at Eton Upper School.
Miss Keats said they didn't teach it.
She lied. The ideas, the way of seeing it encourages... It's very dangerous, only for the trusted few. That was always the case with art before we became properly civilized. 100 years ago, some people pretended it was for the herd, but they still kept it mostly to themselves. Anyway, no one's officially allowed it. It's prohibited by law, but as I make the law, I can speak it out loud. You, on the other hand, do not make the law, and so can't.
But why prohibit it?
Mr. Watson, have you forgotten your teacher training, your rules of intellectual exclusion? You are an employee of an academic institution, and within that world, if you want to remain employed, it is required that you do as you are told, while maintaining the facade of free thinking. But free thinking must not actually intrude, must it? That's the iron truth behind the rayon fist.
Even if the words are simply beautiful. I have observed myself. I know that I think in words, and the words I have and don't have determine the boundaries of my thought. I want beautiful words because I want more chances to think new thoughts, to make new combinations and get new answers.
We are talking about old words. We don't have any use for old things here, particularly when they're beautiful. The Chinese got it right back in the early 21st century. If only we'd taken notice of them sooner. Harmony, they called it. And it was all smiles. Thankfully, we saved ourselves eventually.
Excuse me, Controller.
Oh, you found your courage at last, Mr. Marx.
Not really, but I wanted to ask. What would be wrong with making that book, Shakespeare, commonly available? People could make up their own minds whether or not to read it.
It would be a waste of resources.
Why?
Because it would not make a profit. Reading? No one does it voluntarily anymore. There's too much else to do, for which one has to pay. If you don't have to pay, it can't be worth anything, and paying is what keeps the world turning. And anyway, they would not understand those words now. They'd regard them as obscure, boring, stupid.
All right, then. Here's a question. Why do you make the stupid ones at all? The gammas, deltas, and epsilons. Why don't you make everyone an alpha double plus?
Because we have no wish to have our throats cut. A society of alphas couldn't fail to be unstable and miserable. An alpha-conditioned human being would go mad if he had to do epsilon semi-moron work. The optimum population is modelled on an iceberg. 8/9 below the waterline, 1/9 above.
And they are happy below the waterline.
Deliriously so.
Why keep the work moronic? Why not invent more labour-saving devices?
Useless effort keeps them occupied and us out of danger.
But we're always saying science is everything.
It's in the sleep teaching of 13 to 17-year-olds 3 times a week.
I was a pretty good scientist in my day. Then I had a revelation. I realized that all our science is just a cookery book, with an orthodox theory of cooking that nobody's allowed to question, and a list of recipes that must not be altered without the permission of the head cook. But I did a bit of illicit cooking, a bit of real science.
What happened?
Very nearly what's going to happen to you. I was nearly sent to Iceland.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. The thing all 3 of you fail to understand in your different ways is that people are animals, and they need to be controlled for their own good. Some past dictatorial religions and a-religious societies have understood that and acted accordingly, but they all failed because they lacked the appearance of kindness. The world is safe now because of the irresistible force of kindness married to rigorous suppression. And clever, educated, sometime rebels like me, we are the poachers turned gamekeepers who are best at anticipating where problems might arise. Now, go home and sort out your things. Watson, you may keep your communication device. It will be set to receive only, so you can know the events that shall unravel from here. I quite admire your intellect. You remind me of me. Perhaps you might be of use someday. You will receive notice of your travel arrangements, and don't try to stir up trouble. We shall be watching you. Oh, and John.
Yes?
You will be pleased to know you won't be going to Iceland. The other two will go without you.
But why?
Because you are too dangerous, even for Iceland. We have fenced off an area of forest in Surrey and equipped an old concrete military bunker with the basics required for civilized living. You like your religious illusions? Imagine yourself a medieval hermit. Flight paths have been changed to avoid the area.
Once we were aboard the plane for Iceland, I took the opportunity to check my messages. I listened to a long, rambling speech from Bernard's girlfriend. She sounded broken.
I'm sorry I missed you, Mr. Watson. Bernard thinks a lot of you. I hoped you might be able to help me. You see, I don't know how I'm supposed to make any sense of this. Believe me, I really don't understand. Beyond which zip-up boots to wear, or which of the men at the Soma fountain to go home with, I haven't had to make a serious decision about any aspect of my life. I haven't wanted to. Now this man comes along, turns me down, sends me into a spin. It was comfortable being wanted. Please make things normal again. I want not to want. Men came and went, literally, and each brought some kind of novelty, mostly, and all confirmed I am special, beautiful, desirable, and I depilated, and deodorized, and was worshipped, and stroked, and complimented. Then he comes along, with downright cheek of it, and suddenly everything I thought counted for nothing. Not for him the tinted hair, foundation, long enameled nails. Not for him the uplift brow and gossamer pants. No, he wants everything natural. Ugly, in other words. And he wanted me thinking, not blanked by Soma and sex. And I know he's right, but he has stripped it all away. Showed me how useless I am. And put nothing in its place. I am empty now. Lost. Sad, and I can't stand it. I ache for him, for myself, for everything. A lost soul, and even that word makes sense because I know it should exist, but for me it doesn't. I can't stand this. How can I be expected to? There's no one who can...
So, we managed to ruin her along with ourselves. An uncomplicated young woman became complex under the influence of a trio of men who asked questions which had no answers. Unfortunately, John's personal reservation was not preserved in anonymity. Its chance discovery by a lorry driver and his son prompted a flurry of publicity and an invasion of suburban helicopterists. During the national holiday week, they descended on his bunker in swarms, always demanding the spectacle of his self-flagellation. "The whip! The whip!" they cried, and he obliged. Until, one day, he was discovered in the stairwell of his dark, concrete abode. A headgear of gorse wound about his matted locks, a flow of dried blood staining his side where he'd clipped the sharp banister while dropping. Mr. Savage turned very slowly at the end of a 15-foot rope, his martyrdom complete, his neck broken, his quietus achieved. his feet, like two unhurried compass needles, turning towards the right, and after a few seconds, unhurriedly turning back to the left. On hearing the news of John's death, Lenina Crown walked out into the road in Kensington Gore and lay down, waiting to be flattened by a bus. Then she resided in a care home in Wembley until throwing herself from a window when the nurse's back was turned. At least, that was the story given out. Goodbye, Lenina Crown. Goodbye, history.
In Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, dramatised for radio by Jonathan Holloway, Bernard was played by Justin Salinger, Helmholtz by Jonathan Coy, Lenina by Pippa Bennett-Warner, and John by Milton Lopez. The director of the London Hatcheries was played by Anton Lesser, Linda by Karina Fernandez, Fanny by Nicola Ferguson, and Henry by Sam Riggs. Miss Keats was Scarlett Brooks, and Mustafa Mond, Sean Baker. Other roles were played by Nick Underwood and members of the cast. The producer was David Hunter. Everyone belongs to everyone else. Everyone belongs to everyone else.
Next up is a full-cast radio production of The Devils, a 1960 stage play by John Whiting that was adapted from Aldous Huxley's book The Devils of Loudun, which was published in 1952. It centres on the true story of unexplained events that took place in the small town of Loudun in 17th century France, a tale of demonic possession, religious fanaticism, sexual repression and mass hysteria.
The Devils by John Whiting, based on the book by Aldous Huxley, with Michael Bryant as Father Grandier, Sarah Bedell as Sister Jeanne, Peter Jeffrey as Father Barret, Nigel Stock as Dalmognac, Angela Pleasance as Philippe, Cyril Lackham as Father Mignon, and Robert Edison as Bishop de la Roche-Posay. The Devils.
Shall we go together?
By all means, Mannery.
Don't catch my sleeve. He spoke as if he were God.
Grandier.
Grandier.
Very rousing to the spirit.
Oh, you think so, hmm?
So small a town is lucky to have such a caretaker of souls. Did I say that as if I meant it?
No. There are things, my dear Adam.
Things, Mannery? Huh. There's the young widow, Nino.
Don't gape. Things said and things done.
By the priest, yes, I've heard.
Then see.
With my own eyes.
I've attended, Nino. Medically.
Have you?
It's not widowhood gives that contentment. That walk.
It takes a visit.
It does.
He dangled.
What idiot is it?
They hanged him last night. Strung him up.
Compelling sight. What resides, Adam?
I don't understand you.
What's left, man? After that.
Ah, you've something in your head.
Has he? That's the point.
Grandier seems to have got it into his head that the forces of good are a kind of political party needing a leader.
His mind's been running on such things.
All the same, politics. The term seems strange coming from a pulpit.
So does wit.
Yes. I disgraced myself this morning.
Oh.
I laughed aloud. Is that more becoming as governor of the town than yawning my way through the sermon, as I used to do before Grandier came here? Tell me, de Cerizet.
Yes?
This is a small town. Can it contain a Father Grandier? That proud man? Shall we go this way?
Oh.
Sorry.
It doesn't matter.
It's wrong, though. The muck of the poor shouldn't be spoiling the holy purple.
No, my son.
Lovely day. Hot.
Yes. How can you bear to work down there in the sewers?
Well, I used to keep my mind on higher things, Father Grandier.
I'm very pleased to hear it. What were they?
My wife and my dinner.
I see, but now...
There's not the need. I've grown used to the stink.
Yeah.
Nobody can live 43 years and not have it happen.
You accept it?
I have to. I'm a man, a dirty, sinful man, and my job is the drains of the city. If you were a man, sir, and not a priest, perhaps I could make you understand.
Try, even so.
What makes a man happy? To eat and set the drains awash, to sit in the sun and ferment the rubbish, to go home and find comfort in his wife's conduit. Then why should I feel ashamed or out of place down there?
Put in that way, I can see no reason at all. It must be a pleasure.
It's clear, sir, that your precious juices will never flow here. And that misguided creature dangling from the gallows has dripped through his toes all night.
Don't mock the thing.
Sorry.
He was a man. A young man. 18 years old. They brought him to kneel at the church door on his way here. He told me his sins.
What were they?
Being alive.
Comprehensive?
Heinous, it seems. Manhood led him into the power of the senses. With them he worshipped. In total adoration, a young girl. But he learned too quickly. He learned that only gold can decorate the naked body, and so he stole.
And so he hanged.
He confessed something to me alone. It was not for God to hear. It was a man speaking to a man. He said that when he adorned the girl, the metal looked colourless, valueless against her golden skin. That was repentance. When will they take him down?
Tomorrow, when it's dark.
See that it's done with some kind of decency.
I'm sorry. It's the provincial life, my dear Trancon.
I see. You feel provincial life has a bad effect on the art of poetry?
Ask the Cerise.
You and I, Trancon, as public prosecutor and magistrate, are brought close to the ground by our work. I've always understood poetry to be an elevated art.
I assure you that during composition I think the right thoughts. My mind, if I may put it this way, is filled with nobility.
Why don't you show your latest bunch of Latin epigrams to Grandier?
The priest?
Well, as a priest, his secular senses are well developed. Make a selection. Submit them. The man is a scholar.
Very well. I don't seek praise, but I'll do as you say. Yes. Yes.
Oh, poor Trancon. He loves the muses, but alas, they don't seem to love him. I hope your suggestion about Grandier was not malicious.
Not at all, sir. As with any author, the greater Trancon's audience, the less burden of doubt on his closer friends.
Grandier came to see me this morning. I was having breakfast in the garden. He didn't know that I could observe him as he walked towards me. Vulnerable, smiling. He visibly breathed the air. He stopped to watch the peacocks. He fondled a rose as if it were the secret part of a woman. He laughed with the gardener's child. Then he composed himself, and it was another man who sat down beside me and talked for an hour. When will this other man climb on his ladder of doubt and laughter,
Probably to the highest offices of the church.
But the man I saw in the garden...
Tell me.
Now, what do you need to be told? Words are playthings in our situation. Expect music from them, but not sense.
Now, don't laugh at me. I never understand. I'm not a clever woman.
You're too humble, Nino. It's a female vice. It will never do. Ask your question.
Why do you come to me?
Oh, that would be a good question if we were in your drawing room. As
There are
it
pretty
is.
young girls in the town.
They didn't need consolation for the untimely death of their husband, the rich wine merchant. That was the reason for my first visit, remember? How many Tuesdays ago was that? I asked you to believe that God loved you and had you in his eternal care, that the bursting of your husband's heart at the dinner table when his blood ran with his wholesale wine was an act of love. That all things, however incomprehensible, are an act of love. But you couldn't bring yourself to believe any of this. Your soul is as tiny as your mind, Nino, and you had to fall back on a most human gesture. You wept. Tears must be wiped away. How can that be done without a caress?
I saw you that day just as a man. What's the matter?
I wish words like that could still hurt me.
I've never seen you as anything but a man. Do you want to be more?
Of course. Or less.
But how can you be a man of God without being a man?
Oh, my dear child. You ask questions out of your time and far beyond your experience. You mouth.
You possess me.
You've been a good little animal today. Let the thought of it comfort you. Be happy.
This human head fills me with anticipation, my dear Adam.
It's a common enough object.
I think this is the residence of reason.
Indeed, yes, very trying.
Now, isn't it possible that one day, in the most commonplace dissection, I might find...
Find what, Mannery? Don't hesitate to tell me.
I might stumble upon the very meaning of reason. Isn't it possible that the divinity of man enclosed in an infinitesimal bag might rest upon the point of my knife? Oh, I've dreamt of the moment. I've seen myself. I lift the particle taken from the cerebellum. And Adam, I know.
What do you know, Mannery?
Oh, come, my dear friend, I'm speaking in the most comprehensive sense. I know everything. All is revealed.
God bless my soul.
Now, let's take this thing to your house. We'll spend the evening on it. Look who's coming.
Studied indifference, if you please.
Good evening, Mr. Surgeon.
Good evening, sir.
And Mr. Chemist.
Sir.
It's been a fine day.
Yes.
But no. Rain, do you think?
The sky's clear.
It is.
But it may cloud over before night.
Indeed.
Indeed it may.
Darken, you know. What have you got in that bucket?
A man's head.
A friend?
A criminal.
The body was taken down from the gallows last night.
I hope they didn't overcharge you in the interest of science.
Ninepence?
Reasonable. A bargain. Let me see. Poor pickle.
Yes, Mannery and I have been discussing the human predicament with this relic as centrepiece.
I'm sure you said some very interesting things.
Well, Mannery did observe that the seat of reason is situated here.
How true. But you'll have said that, Adam.
Oh, I did.
And we mustn't forget, looking down on this pudding, that man's fiddle divinity is what you may say only to the greater purpose of his...
I beg your pardon?
I quite agree. I mustn't stay exchanging profundities with you, however much you may tempt me. So goodbye, Mr. Surgeon and Mr. Chemist.
You fell into his trap, Adam. Never engage Mr. Clever.
He smelled of that widow woman.
Of course. He's just come from her.
After tickling himself in the confessional with the sins of young girls this morning...
He consummates himself in Ninon's bed this afternoon.
And then comes and yawns in our faces.
Tonight?
Tonight he'll spend in some great house. D'Armagnacs to Cerises, fed, comforted and flattered by the laughter of women. What a...
Yeah, I'm so sorry. What were you going to say?
Well, I was going to say, what a life.
So was I.
We're never asked to such places.
I've thought of it often.
How do you console yourself?
By remembering that I'm an honest man doing an honest job.
Is that enough?
What do you mean?
Come with me.
Oh, my dear father, it is the wish of your humble child to come to your grace. I speak in the weariness of 35 years, years heavy with pride and ambition, love of women and love of self, years scandalously marred by adornment and luxury, time taken up with being that nothing, a man. I prostrate myself before you now in ravaged humility of spirit. I ask you to look upon me with love. Show me a way, or let a way be made. Oh God, oh my God, release me, free me. These needs, have mercy, free me. 4 o'clock of a Tuesday afternoon, free me. Rex tremende majestatis qui salvando salvus gratis, salva me, fons pietatis.
Agnus Dei, qui tollis peccata mundi, miserere nobis, Kyrie eleison, Christe eleison, Kyrie eleison.
My dear Father Barret, Father Rangier, I've been alone for many days now, shut in my room fasting and at prayer. You will want to know if I have found some kind of grace. Perhaps, for I am filled with weariness and disgust at the folly and wickedness of mankind. Is this the beneficence of God, you may ask? It may well be. Let me tell you, as your bishop, the circumstances of this revelation. A priest of Loudun called Grandier wished to see me. He is my child, as you all are, my darling, and I would wish to love him. But his handkerchief was scented. If this man had struck me in the face, it would have humiliated me less. The assault on my senses was so obscene that I was in a state of terror. Scent. For a man to whom the taste of water was like fire, and the sound of the birds in the garden like the screams of the damned. My smelling salts, Doctor. I'm very tired. Let me say this to you. There is no innocence, none. Suspect goodness in men and reject kindness, for all vanities are an assertion of self, and the assertion of self in man is the ascendancy of the devil. When that handkerchief was flourished in my face this morning, I saw it as if in a vision. It became a mighty banner flung across the world, stinking, enveloping, overwhelming our beloved church in shamelessness and lust. We are in peril. Take me away. Take me away. I say again, the assertion of self is the ascendancy of the devil.
How are things in your part of the world, Father Barret?
I am kept very busy, Father Rangier.
Is he among you?
Incessantly.
Can we name him?
If you want to. Satan.
How is the struggle?
I shan't give up.
You look tired.
It goes on day and night.
Your spirit is shining.
Unbroken, at any rate. But there's never a moment's peace over at Chinon now. Only the other day I was conducting a marriage. Everything was going very well. I had before me a young couple, ignorant, I thought, but pure. It never entered my head they were anything else. I'd reached the blessing and was about to send them out to the world as man and wife, when there was a disturbance at the west door. A cow had come into the church and was trying to force its way through the congregation. Well, I knew at once, of course.
That it was he.
Say it, Rangier, say it. It was Satan!
You're never taken in.
Before I could act, he had passed from the cow to the bride's mother, who fell to the ground in a kind of convulsion. There was the most dreadful confusion, of course, but I began exorcism at once. There's a couple that won't forget their wedding day in a hurry.
How did it end?
The spirit screamed from the church like a great wind. A kind of black slime was found smeared on the girl's forehead. She said she'd fallen, but of course I knew better. And that's not all. 2 days later, the husband came to me and said he'd found himself quite unable to perform his necessary duty. The usual kind of spell, you know. I've now started investigations into the whole family.
This sort of thing must bring a lot of people to Chinon.
No, they all flock to Loudun now. This Grandier person who's upset the bishop is responsible for that. He touts for his place disgracefully. I must go.
Anything interesting?
I have to call it a farm. They say that something is speaking through the umbilicus of a child. The child herself is now in conversation with it, and I'm told the two voices have evolved a quite astonishing creed of profanation.
Ah, so good of you to call, Father Grandier.
Not at all. I brought back your poetry.
So I see. Governor d'Armagnac holds that any insufficiency must be put down to life in the provinces.
You write them when you get back from the office.
Every day?
Amid the cooking smells.
They drift out.
The plateau of family life.
It intrudes.
And so naturally you achieve these.
Put me out of my misery. I want an honest opinion.
Ah, you're an important man in this town, Trancon. Men in public positions can't expect honesty.
Speak to me as a poet, not as public prosecutor.
Ah, very well. Your poetry is...
What is it?
I want my sewing, Father.
Oh, please take it. This is my older daughter, Philippe.
Father?
What were you saying?
I was about to say that your creations, these poems, have great merit. They seem to be moral observations of a most uncommon kind.
Really?
Don't you think so? I'm speaking of your father's poetry.
Oh, she is very ignorant about such things. Young girls, you know, dear me, dancing, music and laughter. Finer things can go hang.
She should be instructed.
It's so difficult to find anyone suitable in this town.
You speak any Latin?
A little.
Unless...
That's not enough.
Unless...
It's an exact language. Makes it possible to say just what you mean. That's rare. Don't you agree?
Yes, it is.
Unless you, Father Grandier, would undertake the instruction.
Of your daughter?
Yes.
Oh, I'm a busy man.
Just one day a week. A few hours in the appreciation of finer things. It could be done by conversation. Perhaps the reading of suitable Latin verse.
Very well.
Shall we say Tuesday?
No, not Tuesday. The next day.
At 5:30 on Tuesday, he left Ninon's house.
The man is a machine. Interesting, though. Can sexual response be conditioned by the clock?
He dined alone later than usual at 9 o'clock. Great languor through the morning. A meal at 2:15. Sweetbreads in cream, followed by a rank cheese. Wine, 3 o'clock. Entered Trancon's house for instruction of Trancon's daughter, Philippe.
Oh, Adam, you're a wit.
Am I now?
Your inflection on the word instruction was masterly.
Thank you.
But forgive me, my dear friend, if I ask you something. How do we go on? Your observations of Grandier's movements are a marvel, but these are the habits of any man. We shall never catch him on such evidence.
You must give me time, Mannery. We shall never expose him on his habits, certainly. But lust is leading him by the nose, and lust must have a partner. The widow Ninon, Philippe Trancon. Another, who knows? But there will be a time. Patience, Mannery.
I, Sister Jeanne, prioress of the convent of St. Ursula, dedicate myself humbly to your service. You have made me, both in stature and in spirit, a little woman, and I have a small imagination, too. That is why, in your infinite wisdom, you have given me this visible hump on my back to remind me day by day of what I must carry. Oh, my dear Lord, I find it difficult to turn in my bed, and so in the small and desperate hours I am reminded of your burden, the cross on the long road. You have brought meaning to my life by my appointment to this Ursuline house. I will try to guide the sisters of this place. I will do my duty as I see it. Lord, I have had great difficulty with prayer ever since I was a little girl. I have longed for another and greater voice within me to praise you. By your grace I have come young to this office. Have mercy on your child. Let her aspire. Meanwhile the floors shall be swept, the beds neatly made, and the pots kept clean. Mercy, I will find a way. Yes, I will find a way to you. I shall come. You will enfold me in your sacred arms. The blood will flow between us, uniting us. My innocence is yours. Please, God, take away my hump so that I can lie on my back without lolling my head. There is a way to be proud. May the light of your eternal love wash me forever and ever. Amen.
Feda est in coitu et brevis voluptas et tedit veneris satis paracte.
Translate as you go, Philippe, line by line.
Pleasure in love.
Lust.
Pleasure in lust is nasty and short, and sickness.
Weariness.
And weariness follows on desire.
Prosaic, but fair. Give me the book. But in everlasting leisure, like this, lie still and kiss time away. No weariness and no shame. Now, then, and shall be all pleasure. No end to it, but an eternal beginning. My child, why are you crying?
I haven't been well.
Do you find our little lessons too much for you?
No, I enjoy them very much.
Well, we've only had 6. I thought they might go on, say, to the end of the year.
Of course. As long as you like.
As long as you like, Philippe. They're for your benefit.
I want very much to understand all things.
All things?
There are forces inside me as a woman which must be understood if they are to be resisted.
What forces, Philippe?
Inclinations.
Go on.
Inclinations towards sin.
It is a simple matter to understand, Your Majesty. You have that paper upside down, sire. The self-government of the small provincial towns of France must be brought to an end. The first step is to pull down all kinds of fortification. They provide opportunity for an uprising of the Protestants. Such men as your friend d'Armagnac, the governor of Loudun, see with little vision, sire. Their loyalties are to their cities, not to France. Shall I act, sire?
So now it's the turn of our city.
Is everything to come down?
That's what Richelieu wants. It's a trick, of course. Whenever there's a so-called nationalist revival in this country, it means one thing. Somebody is trying to seize power at the absolute centre. This destruction of our fortresses has no real significance. It's a show of power, a device. Richelieu sits with the king. He whispers in his ear, and out come the usual catchphrases. Grandier, this is an old city. These walls keep out more than the draught. Those towers are more than ornament. And from that fortress I have tried to administer my small sovereignty with reasonable wisdom. For I love the place.
We must refuse to destroy it.
We? I have. Which means we can expect a man from Paris just as soon as he can get here.
Let me help you in this matter, sir.
Do you mean it? There is a churchman beside the king in Paris. As another beside me here. Do you also want to use this device to further your own ends?
Conflict attracts me, sir. Resistance compels me.
They can destroy you.
I am weak, yes, it's true. But equal power cannot be conflict. It is negation, peace. So, let me help you with all the passion of my failure.
Don't smile. They can destroy you.
De Labatmont?
Yes, Your Eminence.
The governor of Loudun has refused to obey the order. Go to the town, speak to him. Find a way.
Eminence?
Wait. There is a man. His name is Grandier. He is a priest. Yes, there is a man called Grandier. Remember that.
We have suffered a great loss, sisters. Canon Mousseau was a good old man.
It is God's will, God's will.
So we have been taught. All the same, his death leaves us with a problem. We lack a director. The old man served this place well for many years, it is true, but the life of sinful children must go on. Penitents, we must have a confessor.
Have you chosen, Mother?
God will choose.
We will pray.
Do so. There is a...
Don't touch my back!
There is a man. His name is Grandier. He is young. I have never seen him, but God has often put him in my thoughts lately. I mean to...
What's the matter?
Claire?
Why stare at me like that? Have I done something wrong?
No. No. I mean to write to this good man and invite him to be our new director. It is guidance, you understand. He has been put in my thoughts.
Grandier?
Grandier.
It is God's will. God's will. God's will.
I am tired to death. Yes, it is a very excellent and practical solution. He can advise us on the method of education for the children. He will oversee our spiritual needs. He can sort out these damned problems of theological progression which muddle me day after day. Yes, it will be a good appointment. Leave me alone.
Mother.
Claire.
Yes, Mother?
They say I have beautiful eyes. Is it true?
Yes, Mother.
Too beautiful even to close in sleep, it seems. Go with the others. Remember, Jeanne? A summer morning, children playing, boy and girl, paper boats sail the pond. Sun shone so hot upon the head that day. Children crouched, staring at each other across the sheet of water. Was it love? Flick. A toad upon a slab. Croak. Boy, head to one side, smiling, gentle voice whispering over the water. Look, speak to your brother, Jeanne. There, green brother, hop, hop. Speak to him, Jeanne. God, forgive my laughter, but you haven't given me much defense, have you? I must write to Grandier, ask him to become our director.
Grandier?
The first thing to do is to draw up some kind of document.
An accusation against Grandier.
Exactly. We know about his debauchery,
profanity,
and impiety.
Is it enough?
It'll have to do.
For the time being.
We'll present the paper to the bishop.
Must be properly done.
Of course. Framed in correct language, decent to handle.
Something's just occurred to me.
What?
What will the document say?
Say? We shall have to decide.
It's not important.
No, just the means.
We must keep the end inside.
Always.
When was your last confession, child?
A week ago, Father.
What have you to tell me?
Father, I have sinned. I have suffered from pride.
We must always be on guard.
I finished some needlework yesterday, and I was pleased with myself.
God allows us satisfaction in the work we do. You're absolved. Anything else? Come now, others are waiting.
I've had unclean thoughts.
Of what nature?
About a man.
My child.
In the early hours of the morning, my bedroom is suffocatingly hot. I've asked them to take away the velvet curtains. My thoughts fester, and yet they are so tender. My body, Father. My body. I wish to be touched.
Have you tried to suppress these thoughts?
Yes.
Are they an indulgence?
No, I have prayed.
Do you wish to be saved from this? Answer, child.
No. I wish to take. No. Possess. No. Destroy me. I love you. Him. I love him.
I have considered this document you have presented against the priest Grandier. He is known to us as an impious and dangerous man. A few months ago we ourselves suffered insult and humiliation by his presence. But this is neither here nor there. Rise. What is your complaint?
We feel, my Lord Bishop, that the priest Grandier should be forbidden to exercise the secretarial function.
What is your profession?
I'm a surgeon.
Would it amuse you if I came and instructed you in your business?
I'm always prepared to take advice.
Don't talk like a fool. This grubby and ill-composed document tells us nothing we did not know about the man. Vague and yet somewhat hysterical accusations concerning lonely widows and amorous virgins are all that I can find here. I am not prepared to conduct the affairs of this diocese on the level of a police court.
He has powerful friends.
Stop whispering. What did you say?
Grandier is protected by his friends.
What are their names?
Tell him, madam.
D'Armignac, de Cerisay, others.
I'll accept your reasonable intentions in coming here, although God knows if there's anyone I distrust, it's the good citizen going about his civic duty. His motive is usually hate or money. But I will not accept your opinions, your advice, nor for a moment longer your presence. Go. My smelling salts, Doctor. Those two probably spoke the truth. But they must not be allowed to think that they influence our judgment in any way. It is vital that the Church should be protected from the democratic principle that every man must have his say.